Is it recording? Okay, all right, see it's recording. We're gonna see how this goes. All right, so how to build a CRUD app in 5 minutes. Welcome to this little workshop. First we have a quick discussion. What is CedarJS? Bam, let's go here. So CedarJS at a high level, blah 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 blah. I can't read all of that, but basically it's a really cool React-based framework that incorporates a number of technologies that have existed for a little while, weaves them together, and allows you to do some really cool things and makes developing stuff kind of fun. So, installation-wise, you'll need to have a version of Yarn that's above 1.5. Let's see, version, boom, we're good here. Version of Node, that's above 16. Boom, we're good here. And then you get to run this magical incantation. CedarApp. / cedarblog 01. We'll call you cedarblog 01. Okay. Write that right? Yes, we did. I think we did. Okay, good. Boom. And ta-da! Welcome to CedarJS. Right? You can do this in TypeScript or JavaScript. For this demonstration, I will do this in JavaScript because everybody loves JavaScript. Initialize repo, yes. Enter commit, initial commit. Boom. Do you want to run yarn install? Yes, we do. Let's run that, buddy. Give that a little second. Go walk around the block. Get an ice cream. Eat the ice cream. Come back after eating the ice cream. And there you go. Okay, fantastic. Now we're going to cedarblog 01. Boom. And we're going to do yarn redwood dev. RW redwood. A little bit about that command. So this used to be called REDWOODJS, and they have recently rebranded this. This is a fork off of that called CedarJS, because part of the team is developing this framework. Another part of the team is developing a different application called Redwood SDK. Different bag of cats entirely. But some of the command names still exist. So RW. Okay. And now we hit this puppy. Boop. Okay, great. All right. Now we welcome to a running app. Now, what do we have here? Let's go take a look. Let's open up a new doodad here. And let me see here. Let me start up my editor of choice for this particular thing. Okay, so Cedar creates a what is now known as a mono-repo. Right? We have two apps inside of here. You've got the front end. Right? You've got the package.json for that. Right? Source directory. Right? Various folders. Right? Components, layouts, pages, right? Routes file, right? And you've got the backend app here, right? DB folder, right? SRC folder here, right? And services directory, right? Familiar with that? GraphQL, we'll get into that later on. Directives, functions, right? Package.json file here also, right? So if you're looking up packages on the Yarn website or npm, depending on what those packages are meant for, you may want to either put them this directory for the web, for the front end, or API for the back end, right? All right, let's get to the next thing here. I think, yeah, we're gonna stop the server and what did I want to, oh yeah, open this, explain that, we already did that. Okay, story, let's see, do I want to talk about that just yet? Let's get into the pages that are generate, well, nothing's really there just yet. Components, okay, let's create a basic page, right? I'm gonna move this over because I want that here and this here. All right, how do you create a new page in CedarJS? Well, we have something called generators. And what we're going to do is first I'm going to show you how to create two basic pages and then how to link them and how routes basically work. And then we're going to get into the big kahuna of this particular video, and that's creating a CRUD app, right? All right, so the first thing we're going to do is yarn redwood generate page home, and we'll give this a route. We're telling it, we're using the generator. We're telling it what we want to generate, a page. We're going to name that page home and the route that it's going to live on, right? Okay, hit that puppy. Okay, and it has now created a number of files for us. Right, we've got a homepage.js file, JSX, excuse me, stories, and a test file, right? So stories are, oh, well, let's go take a look at this real quick. Let's go to homepage. There we are. And close those so it's a little bit cleaner. Let's close that directory too. Here we go. Pages, homepage, boom. Okay. So we've got a nice homepage. Boom. And we're familiar with that. Looks very very familiar to any React developer watching this video, right? Okay. Now, our homepage, which you can't see over here, let me restart the server. All right, dev, boom, start that up again. Ta-da, boom. Now our landing page is this, right? Kind of bright. Hope you're not sitting in a dark room. But yeah, really neat, right? Automatically generated for us. And then what's this stories page all about, right? Well, that's about something called Storybook. I'm gonna move that further down in my notes here. And I'm reading on my script off of the screen. But yeah. We'll talk about Storybook a little bit later on. But yeah, so let's talk about this code that we've got here, because we're going to need to make this link to this next page that we're going to make. So what do I want to do? I'm going to close that so I can show you this. All right. So we see our code. Have a nice little React file here. And also has a link that's generated. We're gonna turn that link on. There we go. Turn it. I'll get rid of it. And we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to save this file. And, oh, link is not defined. Line 14. It doesn't understand what link is, what the component link is. And that is because we didn't turn it on at the top here. So let's turn that on. Save our file. Boom. Now we have a link, right? Going to this home route. Oh, speaking of routes, let's talk about routes real quick. So let's go over to the routes.jsx file. And we can see all these juicy, delicious route configuration that we have here, right? If you're familiar with making routes in any React app, this will look super familiar. And we see the slash, right, for our home route. Okay, let's get into the next thing we want to make. I am going to keep you running. I'm going to split that little screen so I can see you up here. Let's see, what did we do? We did pay. Oh, you know what? That's the one right there. Yarn RWG. You can, instead of writing out the word generate, you can say G, the letter G. Another page, and this time the page is going to be about, named about, right? And we're not going to put anything at the end of it. So we're going to generate this puppy. Boom! All right, now it creates all of our wonderful about pages there, right? Switch back over here. Oh, look, our route page has been updated. How delicious. How lovely, right? Now let's make sure that that's saved here. Okay. All right, and let's go over to our running server here. Let's see. That's the run. If I've got it running, I don't think I've done it while it's running. Let's see. Boom, there it is. There's the about page. Hot dog. All right, let's turn this puppy on. Let's go to the new about page directory generated for us, right? Remember that beautiful generation down here, right? And we're going to hit that puppy and turn that on. There we go. Now look at that. Wonderful, wonderful. We're going to link this page as well. I'm going to turn on this commented out code that was provided for that little link there. And look at that about. How wonderful. We know that's going to break because the component is not imported. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna save that. Boom, now I have a link. Fantastic. But this is just linking to itself, right? That's not sexy. Let's make it sexy. So we're gonna say home. There we go. And we're gonna say home. So now, oops, H-O-M-E. I can write. I went to school. There we go. We'll save that puppy. Fantastic. Now, oh, did I save it? Did I? Okay, now so there we go. Now I saved it. Okay, now it updated. Okay, great. Now if I hit home, it goes to the home page. See that? So let's do the same thing to the home page. Close that, and we're going to get over here, and we're going to say hi. We're going to we're going to say about, and about. Okay, now save that. Boom. Okay, fantastic. Now the home page is linked to the about page. See that? And the about page is linked to the home page. See that? Fantastic. Now I didn't change this text here. So all that sort of, logically coincides with what we just did here. But default is link. Let's see, link to about with. Okay, we'll do something like that and make it more reasonably in line with what we just did, right? Okay. And you go to the about page, and we'll do the same thing here. Link to. Okay, I'll do that. Link to home with something like that, just so it's doing what it says. It's whatever. but you get the idea. We have linked two files together and generated them instantly, right? Okay, fantastic. Now let's get ready to do something really interesting. Let's see, where are we at here? Gotta change that. Okay, let me talk about this thing here. Let's close our web directory. Let's go into our API directory, and let's take a look at deep in the schema.prisma file. Okay, so CedarJS uses something called Prisma incorporated into it, right? And Prisma allows us to create our table structures for our relational tables, right? You can wire up inside of Cedar Postgres database, MySQL database, SQLite database. It comes with SQLite by default, okay? But Prisma allows us to write our models right here inside the schema. And then that's going to get translated into migrations, which do regular SQL, which then talk to our database, which I will demonstrate right now. So we're going to change the initial example here for user example. We're going to say post, and we're going to keep the ID the same. We're going to change that. We're going to get rid of that extra space there. We're going to say title and body, and we're going to say those will still be strings, and we're going to add created at date time at default of right now. Okay, let's double check that, make sure that's all together. All right, okay, cool. And we'll save that puppy. Boom. And okay, I think now we are ready to run our migration. So we can do RW for Redwood, the old name of this framework. And we'll say Prisma migrate dev, all right? Because we're on our development platform. Let's run that puppy. Boom. Okay, enter name of migration. We're going to call this create post singular. And does all the thingy. Fantastic. And boom. Now let's go see a little of what it did. Okay, so let's go and open the migration file folder here. We've got the migrations here. Here we see now we have migration file folder and file created. We've got our SQL. Come here, SQL here. I should not be using my mouse. I'm using Vim. I should not be using my mouse. But anyway, so here's our SQL that will be used to create our database table. Okay. All right. Currently we're using SQLite. Let's see. Yep. Let's get into the next step. All right. Close. All right. Let's clear that out the way. All right. Here's the big kahuna. All right. I should write that in my notes too. Okay. Now. Now career post open my resource file. Open my resource file. Okay. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna say that in my notes here. Big kahuna. Okay. Okay. Here we go. I'll put that in the notes over there. All right. All right. So yarn generate scaffold post. All right, singular. All right, make sure I wrote that right. Yes, okay, good. Okay, hit that puppy, boom. Give it a second. Boom. Oh, look at all that delicious juiciness. Oh, look at all those wonderful files it created. Now, what did I just do? Normally, when we want to create CRUD interactivity, we would have to write all the files related to creating, reading, updating, and deleting post in our blog, right? With that one line, CedarJS just generated all of that. So if we go to our post endpoint here, there we go, post route, notice the S, right? When we made our model, it was singular. Cedar uses the naming convention of turning that into a plural when it does generation, right? All right. Boom. Now we are looking at our post, creating a post page, right? Oh, no post yet. Would you like to create one? Why, sure I would. Yes. All right. First it has to, recognize where it's at. So we get a little hiccup there, right there. But then it finds itself and, oh, yes. Okay. Yay. First post. Oh, so yummy. Okay. Save that puppy, yes. Yes, post created, fantastic. We see that happening in the server over here. GraphQL talking. No, fantastic. We'll get into that in a second. Talk about the GraphQL. New post, fantastic. Yes. Second, awesome post. Oh, delicious. Yes. Save that. Yep. Fantastic. Now, so you have show route, right? Show post first post, right? We can edit a post. So yummy. Oh yeah. Okay. Save that, right? So yummy. Oh yeah, right? Fantastic. So we can show, we can edit it, and we can delete it, right? Delete. Okay. Delete post too. Okay, sure. Right. Fantastic. Right. All your CRUD in one command. Okay. That's the video. Okay. Now let me show you some stuff here. So GraphQL, right? So you saw that get generated. Let me make sure I'm using my keys here. Let's go over here down to GraphQL because I want to show you this real quick in the back end. How is this talking to our services? So we have services. It generates a services folder for us, generates services files for us, right? Right. We got scenarios and tests and all that good stuff. We're going to talk about the services file real quick. So we have a services file. It's wrapping some logic here, right? I've got post plural, post singular, right? Receiving the ID. We've got create a post, right? Update a post, right? Specific post ID and its input, right? Delete a post, right? Whatever that ID might be, right? And inside of here, we have these interesting methods: find many, find unique, create, update, delete, right? Now, these are methods that are talking to the GraphQL here. And if we go over here to GraphQL, let's see, open that puppy up, boom, you can see GraphQL laid out to do its thing here, right? So post, right? Query, create post input, update post input, right? Mutations, designed for, let me do this, designed for, create post, update post, delete post, right? So let me do this. Let me split this in two, go back over here and show you this file side by side, right? Okay, so now you see delete post, right, being called here, right? Delete post in GraphQL, right, for that mutation. Update post, right, calling this method, right? Create post being called by this method, right? This is how they're wired together, right? How your service file is wired to the GraphQL so that the magic can happen, right? Okay, so that's the video, right? You want to find out more about CedarJS? Come on over to cedarjs.com. There's a nice little juicy tutorial here, right? What is CedarJS, right? Okay. Now, before I mentioned, we got some other links I wanted to show you. So we've got what SDL stands for. I forgot the name, to call it out the name of that SDL, right? Schema Definition Language. That's what that's all about, right? Now, oh my God, how am I supposed to remember that? Do I have to type that out by hand in the future? Don't worry about it, because we got documentation over here. Boom. GraphQL.org. Learn, right? Right. This is technology that was not created by the CedarJS team. Right. This just exists in the ecosystem. Right. Prisma as well. Let me give you this link to that. Boom. All right. So you can go investigate that. All right. And Storybook, which we'll get into in later videos that I put up here. Oh my, is it so bright? Do they have a dark mode? I don't know. I'll worry about that later on. Maybe I can do that here. That's not working. Anyway, so my little plug-in here in my browser. Storybook for React. So go read up on that because we're going to get into that later on. But that's it. That is the presentation. That is the introduction to CedarJS. Let me go to the main page here. There we go. Boom. Come by, take a look, dig into it, and build stuff. I am Uncle Fonzo. I'll keep building vids on this and other technology. And if you'd like to join my community, come send me a message. Get to know me, and we'll see what we can do. All right. If you're one of my former students, definitely hit me up. All right. That's it.